Hey there, Rafikis. Welcome to the 34 podcast where we learn together. Hope everyone is having a good week. I'm having a good week and I'm so blessed and thankful. Though like we have flu here and there, but everything is going good. But today I want to talk about how we are always excited when like our siblings or one of our relatives gets a scholarship to go to diaspora to study. But then there are like a lot of things we don't consider when they go there, and sometimes we just like because we're excited for them and we're just like wanting them to go. We're even like fundraising for them to get enough money for the upkeep when they go there to pay school fees and all that. But like we forget like there are other factors we need to look before we even send them, and that's what I'm going to talk about today, especially to parents. Like parents, before you send your kids or you send your child to international to just study or even work, there's some things you need to consider. But today I'll just major on when they go to college, because as a parent you have like a responsibility or a role to play, especially like it's a bigger role because they're your children or they're your kids, like going to college, and they're going to a different country like miles away from home. And because you're just happy for them, they have maybe got a scholarship. So like it's a scholarship, maybe it's a church which like gave her the scholarship, and you're like, okay, they can go, you just look for money and they go. But there's some things we need to consider, especially as parents, when you send your kids to school to a different country. Like that's what I'm going to talk about. And one of them to consider is just like the history of the school. Just know the history of the school just a little bit. It's not a must to go to expound like really further, but then like you need to know like the name of the school. Like what is the name of the school? If there, I'll talk mostly about America, like the state the school is in, like so that like when a person asks you like, wow, your kid is in America, which school is he or is she in? Like you'll be able to tell them, and you'll be able to tell them like, oh, this and this state. Because there's some parents who like they say like, oh, they're in America, but they even don't know the state with their kids are. Like that's just one factor you need to consider. Like just know the state that your kid is and the name of the school. Another one is like just know the course your kid is going to take, because you can tell them like, okay, go and do this course, like maybe teaching, just an example, or engineering. Like you need to consider, okay, this course, if for example they go back home, will they get a job while they're doing this course? Because there's some course when someone has gone to diaspora to study, yeah, they are having a good course, they're getting like good education, they're expanding on their education. Maybe the country they came from, they're not like able to give them that experience she's getting. So like, okay, she's getting that, but what if she comes home with that degree? Will it be able to give her a job? Will she be able to get a job when she goes back home? Like those are things you need to consider. And another one is like is the college accredited? That is important. Like, is the college accredited? Because if the college is not accredited, it will be hard for them to get a job too. Because like there's a lot of companies, even if it's an NGO, they like to know like the school which you came from, is it accredited, how is it known, something like that. So like before you send your kid there, you need to know the name of the school, the state of the school, and also is it accredited or not accredited. And another thing is like, how safe is the environment, how safe is the neighborhood of the school? Because yeah, they're going to a school, but maybe you just read about like the crime rate in that area, like especially if they are in the dorms and they're staying like outside the school. How safe is it for them to be in that college? So is it like when you find and it's like maybe the crime rate is higher, will they go or not? Like there's some things you need to think about. And also like the other thing you need to consider is finances. Like how are the finances there? Okay, it's a work scholarship, but then like work scholarship, maybe that college doesn't pay everything when they're doing work scholarship, especially if they're like boarding outside the school. You'll have to pay for the apartment, you'll have to pay for food, things like that. So you need to consider about the finances. Will you be able to pay for the entire year, or will they work? And sometimes too, like when it's work scholarship sometimes, and if they're going with a student visa, sometimes you're not allowed to work outside the school. So like you need to consider things like that, finances, and also teaching them about the exchange rate too, because there are kids who like come and they don't know how the exchange rate works. So like those are kind of things you need to teach your kids before you send them to a different country to study. And also another thing is like how mature are they, for them to come to a different country? Because sometimes you think like, okay, my kid is maybe 20 years, she's mature, she can, but what if a crisis come? Like how will they handle it? How will they be able to navigate in that crisis? So like, yeah, they are mature, they're 20 years old, and sometimes you're like, okay, but they've been with you all those years together, but you don't know if anything happened to them, will they be able to solve it or not? Another thing is like just the holidays. How will you be able to like just navigate when it's holidays time? And especially in America, they have like long holidays, the summer holidays. It's like 2 months, and sometimes it's 3 months. Like where will they go if they don't have relatives here? Or like in a college I was, we were lucky, or we were blessed to have like a place to go. We were going to camps, working in camps, and sometimes they paid your school fees, they paid your flights, and that was really a blessing for us. But imagine if your kid doesn't have that, or if that college is not helping them to to go to camps or to go to those places. So will you be able to pay for their flights? And it's super expensive, especially like those summer times, because a lot of people are traveling. It's like a lot of countries is a tourist season that time, and it's super expensive. So will you be able to pay for them every holiday when they come? And sometimes even Christmas time is like 2 weeks, like things like that. And also like if they live inside the school, sometimes when it's holiday they're not allowed to stay in school. So like what will you do about that? There's some things you're like happy my kids are going, but there are a lot of things you need to consider when you send your kids to. And also like another one is just the culture of the country. Like you need to read more about the culture of the country, because sometimes you're like, okay, they're going to this country, like how is the culture, how are kids like there? That culture, will it be able to like how will it impact your kid? Will it impact them in a negative way or in a positive way? So you need just to consider such things, because there's some colleges which go, maybe it's not a Christian college, it's like a public college which everybody goes in, and they don't have like those Christian values. So like how will it impact your kid when they go to to those countries? So like those kind of things which you need to just to know how to consider when taking your kids. And another one is just like how will you be able to send money to them? Like for me, I think it's just able to you to open a bank account for them, so that you can just wire direct to their account, or maybe use Zelle. Nowadays they have this app called Zelle, which you can just send direct to their account. Then using sometimes like it's good for things like Western Union, which you can send, but it's really, I think it's lost sometimes when you use Western Union, because when maybe, let's say for example, I'm from Kenya, so my parents are sending me money here. Sometimes it's super expensive. Let's say they've sent you like $7,000 through Western Union. Sometimes they take $200 as the charge. So like, yeah, they've sent you $700, but then you'll get 500 because they've taken the $200. So like, I think like when you use like direct, it's better than using like those money orders or MoneyGram, Western Union, things like that. So like there's some things which you're like you need to consider really. And also, like, how safe is your kid when he's here? Like, how safe are they? Is there enough security in the school? Like, even like just caring about the emotional, just caring about them emotionally. Like, will they be able to get friends? How will they, like, things like that. And also, like, when they get sick, how, it's hard when you're from another country, and like, some in our countries, like, we don't like value that health insurance so much, because we think it's expensive, and some of our hospitals are like affordable. But when you're in a different country, like especially here, sometimes when you get sick and you don't have like insurance, health insurance, it's super expensive. So like, you need to think about that. What if they get sick? But I thank God for me and my sister, and also my brother, when we were here. Like, yeah, we were sick, but not that sick which you could run to the hospital and you start paying much money, and you which like disease which can cause panic. But when that happens, you really need to think like, okay, they don't have health insurance, like, what will you do about it? It's really good for them, they're in this country, they're getting education, but like, what factors, like, there are a lot of factors you need to consider before sending your kids. And sometimes I think we fail on that. And another thing is like, how will you be able to communicate with them? Like, there's a lot of, nowadays, I thank God, because nowadays we have like a lot of apps which you can communicate with them. There's WhatsApp, there's Instagram, there's Facebook, like, so like, for you to just know, like, how will you be communicating with them, so that you know how they're doing and how they're faring on. And just things like that, how you talk to them, how you'll be communicating, how you'll be like, knowing how they're faring in that country. And so you download those apps so that you can you can tell each other how they're going, and just for you to know if they're safe or not, or if they have a problem and you need to help them, things like that. And also, praying for them is very important, because remember, they're in a different country, the language is different. Especially in Kenya, we talk Swahili. Yeah, we talk English, but Swahili is like our national language. Maybe your kid is not like that eloquent in speaking English the way here it is, and sometimes it's really, sometimes you even don't understand what they're saying, because they're talking different. They have the way they pronounce their words are different. So sometimes you're like, oh, what do they mean? And they mean something different. Or sometimes, like, what they mean, you don't understand it as they do. So sometimes you answer something different, and it's like, okay, but how will they communicate even with others? Are they able to make friends? Just praying for them is, because praying for their safety, praying for them to get good friends, praying for them to be like, not to change, like, those kind of things. And yeah, if you have anything else to add on that, because it's really rare for like a lot of us just even like considering all those kind of things, because we're excited, we're happy for them, they're going to another country, they're going to just experience, but we don't consider a lot of things before sending our kids like to a different country. And the next time I'll talk about students living in America, because there's a lot of advantages and a lot of disadvantages when you are a student learning in a different country. So like, guys, thank you so much, guys, for always support. And I just please follow me on, or please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio at the 34 podcast. And as we say, kesho pia ni siku. Adios.